In this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 performing stocks in the Qs today. I have these sorted by the stocks that have performed the best in the Q. So I have the top 5 performers in this table, and then I have the bottom 5 performers right beneath it in this table. And these are all from the Q because we have the Q selected. I'm looking at the daily time frame, the 21-day. That's what we get back in this table here. That's just because I'm trying to find the strongest stocks. Just because they're above the 21-day doesn't mean that they're the strongest stock, because they could be they could have crossed a 21-day that's downtrending, but it just helps me find them quickly. I do want to talk about the VIX real quick. That got above 19 today, so just keep an eye on that. When it gets above 20, there could be a market correction coming. I'm not trying to look at doom and gloom here, but just monitor it. And all these are related to the VIX, all these numbers here. Constellation Energy is going to be the first stock we talk about. In the price column, that's going to be either the current price if the market's open, or this will be the close of that day. And today is January 2nd, and this is the closing price for today. In the close column, that will be the previous close. So this is December 31st, all these numbers here. And then this is the change in the relative volume. Constellation Energy has a PE of 26.78 with a forward PE of 27.02. It has an RSI of 56. I like to see the RSI above 56. That tells me it has strength. It returned 8% today. It does with the PE. How could a forward PE of 27 make this stock go up when we have a current PE of 26? Well, that's probably going to change because there's a catalyst. So we'll just go through that real quick. And I'm just going to show you the headline here. You can see Constellation Energy stock jumps on $1 billion in deals with federal government. So to me, that's the catalyst. That's just a headline. Read the article. There could be more information. And in fact, there is more information. I read the article, but I'm not going to go through that in this video. We'll go through VWAP. We'll look at the daily moving average on a 63 exponential moving average. We'll look at the weekly moving average. We will look at on a 30-week time frame. We'll look at a 5-year chart, and we'll look at the trend channel, the MACD, and the Chaikin money flow on a daily time frame. So that's first one we're going through here is Constellation Energy. You can see we are well above VWAP. We've held VWAP for the whole year, and we're starting to trend down towards it, but now we've turned back up. So that's bullish. If we look at the daily moving average, we just crossed the 63 exponential moving average, and we crossed the 50 RSI. So that's bullish. If we look at a weekly moving average, we are right on the 30-week for last week's close, but now we're bouncing off of it, and we're only 8.55% off of it. So we are not extended. And then if we look at a 5-year chart, you can see we've been in an uptrend. And whenever we've bounced or come down to the 30-week moving average since over the last 5 years, it's been a good time to buy Constellation Energy. Doesn't mean it will be in the future, but it has been in the past. We look at the trend channel. We're at the bottom of the trend channel, bouncing off of it. We just crossed the MACD here. The MACD just crossed the signal line underneath the zero line. That's bullish. We are still below the zero line on the Chaikin money flow. However, we are trending up. So all of those are bullish for Constellation Energy, in my opinion. But you got to do your own due diligence and decide where you would put your stops and things like that. That's up to you. This is just information to help you with your trading or investing. Next stock we'll go through is AppLovin. You can see we have a PE of 103.38 with a forward PE of 57.56 and a PEG of 4.14. So there's a lot of growth baked into this price here. We have a beta of 2.28 and an RSI of 51.23, and we're about 5.5% up from our previous close. If we look at VWAP, we are well extended off of VWAP, but it looks like we would have support on this break right here, which is about 290, but that's still a lot of downside if we were to come down. But we have turned back up here. Our daily moving average, our 63, we are 25.93% off of that. If we look at the weekly moving average, we are 108% off of our 30-week moving average. So we are extended when it comes to the 30-week. And if we look at a 5-year chart, you can see how extended we are. So this could have some correction coming for it. So just keep that in mind. But it could also go higher. The market does what the market does. Trend channel, we are at the top of the trend channel, and we are finding some resistance here. You can kind of see that it's pushing through it and coming back in, and then pushing through it and then coming back in, and it looks like we're trying to knock on the door again. we have a closed MACD that's trending down. But we do have a Chaikin money flow that is starting to trend up, and it looks like it's trying to cross the zero line. So that's it for app 11. We got 3 more we're going to go through, and that'll be it. Okay, the next one's going to be MongoDB. We don't have a PE, but we do have a forward PE of 73.23, a beta of 1.17. You can see this is in oversold territory, so this is showing weakness, but it's coming back and it's up 5% from its previous close. It's 11.28% below its 21-day average. So this is the weakest of the 3 we've looked at so far based on those things. If we look at the VWAP, we're underneath VWAP and we're struggling to break above it, and we have been for a long time. So for me personally, I would wait to see a clear break of this on volume. If we look at the daily moving average, you can see the 63, we're below that as well, and is trending down. This looks like a weak stock to me, MongoDB, even though we did have some buyers come back in today. We're still 8%, almost 8.5% below the 30-week, and we have some relative volume that pushed us below the 30-week. So I would have to see a clear break at the 30-week. On a 5-year chart, you can see that this is like a roller coaster ride. It just goes up and down. So, you probably will find support around 145. If it doesn't get below the 30-week, you might find your first level of support here, and if it breaks that, it might go all the way down to somewhere around here. If we look at the trend channel, we're on a downtrend. When you're on a downtrend, you got to see a clear break, in my opinion, to consider investing in it. And usually when you get that clear break, you break out above the 30-week and the 30-week turns up. We do have a MACD that is converging below the zero line. We have extreme levels of below the Chaikin money flow. So all of those things, for me, MongoDB is a no-go, but you have to decide for yourself what you think. Okay, the next one is going to be ARM Holdings, and you can see we have a 211 PE, but a forward PE of 62, but a PEG of 8. So there's a lot of growth baked into this one too. We are getting close to oversold territory. It's up about 4% from its previous close. We are 6% below the 21-day. If we look at the VWAP, we are getting ready to cross the VWAP. So this is interesting to me. ARM is very interesting for a lot of upside, especially considering where we've been throughout the year. We broke below it, but then we came way above it, and then we broke below it, came above it, broke below it, and then kind of just been chopping around since. But we are turning up and trying to break above VWAP. So if we were to break above VWAP, that would be interesting for maybe an entry. If we look at the daily moving average, for whatever reason, I don't have a exponential. It's probably because we don't have enough time. So we'll change that to the regular 63-day, and that's well below the 63-day. We're also, we're below the 50 on the RSI, and then if we look at a weekly moving average, we are below the 30-week, and we don't really have any relative volume, and we're still 10% below the 30-week. If we look at a 5-year chart, it is starting to trend up, but we're below it. If we look at a trend channel, we are at the bottom of an uptrend trend channel, but we do have a Chaikin money flow that's below the zero line and trending down, and we have a MACD that is closed below the zero line. So for me, I would probably wait on ARM, but it looks interesting to put on a watch list. All right, we're going to close out the video with MELI, Mercado Libre, which is a fintech and an e-commerce platform in, I believe, Brazil. P of 62, a 4 P of 39 with a PEG of 2.11. So this one's not too rich like some of the others. With a 1.57 beta, we are getting close to oversold territory. We're 3.8% up from the previous close. If we go to VWAP, we are getting ready to cross VWAP, so this looks interesting, just like ARM, because it's touching the VWAP and getting ready to cross. And you can see once we crossed VWAP here earlier in the year, back in May, we've pretty much stayed above it. We kind of chopped around for a while, but then went above it. When we came back, we went back above it. So this could be an interesting entry for MELI, just based on that, but we're going to look at some more parameters. The 63 exponential is trending down, and the price is below it, so that's bearish, and we are below the 50 line for the RSI. If we look at the 30-week, we are trending up, and we broke down below it, so we'd like to see it pull back up above it. I might wait for a clear cross. Right now we're about 6% below it I might wait for a clear cross above it for confirmation before I would enter this trade. For me personally, it's up to you what you do, but that's how I would do it. On a 5-year, you can see we're trending up, and when we come below the 30-week, each time we've bounced back. So this may, if you're somebody who's willing to take on a little risk, this may be a good entry, but I would wait for a clear cross of the 30-week. The trend channel, we are converging together below the zero line on the MACD. So this is getting real close to crossing. However, we're well below the zero line on the Chaikin money flow, and we've busted below the lower trend line. So I would like to see this break back into the lower trend line to take a trade on this, because then that would give me some confirmation that money's coming back into it. And I would also want to see volume, larger volume. That's all I got for this video. I hope that was something you liked or enjoyed. If it was, consider hitting the like and subscribe button. Also, let me know if this is something you would like me to make videos on each day. I don't know what you like unless you tell me. So put it in the comments and let me know. Thanks for watching.